Okay, hi. We're doing the part two of our tutorial on how to make jewelry from paper beads or paper beads, and then we can make jewelry of it. I showed you how to assemble the beads themselves in the previous tutorial, and now I'm going to show you what you can do with it. So I cut two sets of beads. If you recall, one were colorful beads and one from pattern paper that is more muted colors, sort of neutral, that kind of thing, more earth tones. And these were the jewel color, plain, not, I wouldn't say plain, but more like basic cardstock, solid colors. So I did, after I finished assembling the beads, like the way that I showed you in the last tutorial, I went ahead and applied varnish on them. I always coat my beads in some sort of sealer or varnish. The muted color ones I did with matte varnish, so it's not very shiny, just have a little bit, sort of like a satiny finish to it. Whoops, sorry, we dropped it. So you can see a little bit of shine, but not a lot. And now they're very, very hard to the touch. You see, they're very, very hard, and they're sealed. And it's important to seal the paper beads because it's paper. So if water gets on them or something, let's say somebody wears this necklace and rain starts or something, you don't want to get it, you don't want to ruin it. So the water is not going to penetrate onto the bead right away. So if it happened to get wet, you just wipe it off right away and nothing happens to the bead. The other ones I did with a shiny lacquer. You see, this is more of a shiny finish. So it looks more like plastic or glass or whatever you want to call it. But it's very bright and shiny. So these are all the beads that I finished doing, assembling. And now we're going to assemble it. So the solid colors, we're going to do one solid necklace. So it's going to be one long necklace. And the other ones, we're going to do a set of a necklace, a bracelet, and earrings. And the way that I assembled it is, okay, let's start with this. Okay, let's take all these out, and I'll show you how I do it. I'll put this away, put this on the side, and hopefully I won't drop it. Okay. So the way that I assemble these is, I have four large beads. So I spread them out. I'll do it here. Maybe you can see a little better. Try to distance a little bit. So I have four of the large beads that I put it separate, even though they're not the big beads. They're not exactly in the same color. Like you see here and here, a little bit different. Okay, and all the rest of them are also, they're not exactly the same. See, it adds an interest to a long necklace if you have it long and they can twirl around and move. Okay, so I have four of the beads and I have 12 of the 1-inch ones. So I'm just going to spread them around. Okay, so I have 3 of the 1-inch beads in between the large ones, and on the ends I have 1 on this end. Let's show you. I don't know if you can turn it around. I have 1 on this end, and I have 2 on this end right here. Now I have some of the little ones, and I'm just going to spread them around. And let's put this one here, and I'll put this one here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'll put this one here. Here we go. Okay. So I'm going to show you different ways to string them. I'm going to do this one in a very simple, basic way, which is just really taking a fish wire. You can buy this at Walmart. Actually, I bought this. This is 60 pounds. So it's pretty sturdy. And remember, you can always do your own thing. And oh, I messed it up a little bit. You can always do your own thing and add regular beads to it. If you have a bead collection and you want to make more, and you want to make 2 necklaces and add these to other beads, just play with it however you like. So I'm just going to put string them all together in one big strand. Okay, like this. I'm actually going to use another weight because I think this is just a little too much. Feels a little rough. Let me just get another one. Alright, tell me I got a 15-pound one. See? I just think it flows better this way. When I mean flow, I mean the harder wire, the fish wire that's heavier and bigger, it doesn't move as much, not as in a fluid way. And I like the necklaces to move in more fluid kind of way. So sometimes I'll even double string it, but it'll have more movement this way. The holes are big enough to do double stringing. I just turn the light on a little bit so that I can see what I'm doing. Okay, over here I just have two of the same color and I don't like it, so I'm going to just switch it around. 1 second, let's switch this for this. It's starting to get, see how it's moving a little better now. Okay. I don't like it stiff, that's the thing. Okay. I really like mixing those with other types of beads. Comes out really beautiful too. Excuse my dirty fingers because I've been painting all day and I have black and glue and varnish and lacquer and all sorts of things on my fingers right now. Doesn't matter how much I scrub, there's always leftovers. And I can never have my nails. Years ago I had my nails done all the time. I wouldn't be caught dead without nails. Now, because I do crafts every day, it's in the way. Oh, my nail polish gets all wacky. Well, I just don't do it. Okay, this one right here. There we go. Oops. Okay. See, it's starting to take shape. Oh, the necklace. That's your choice. If you known to be rough on your necklaces and you can get it stuck in things and get it torn easy, by all means, do the thicker wire or double string it. Oops. Okay, here's the hole. Okay. Okay. Now, what I'll do is to close it off, I'm going to use some, I will use a lobster closure. So I'll show you what I do in order to create a closure. First, let me take some of this out. It's a little dirty from the wood. Okay. Okay, I'll get this closer to me so that I can show you exactly what I do. Okay, what you're gonna need, let me take this from here and this here. Okay. And I'm gonna just put some fabric down so that the beads are not going to fly all over the place. Okay. Usually I have it, I spread it around across the table, but I'm trying to fold it and it's not really working. Let's see if I can do it this way. This is better. Okay. When I work with beads, I always work over some fabric so that the beads are not going to slide all over the place. Alright, so what I have here are crimp beads, and crimp beads are small beads. They look like seed beads. They have a big hole, and then after they're strung on the wire, you take pliers and you just squeeze it and you crimp it so that it holds the wire and it won't move. That's usually what holds things together. But I also use the bigger size crimp beads in order to put the hooks through them. So I chose copper color closures, but I have bronze beads, and usually I put them all to the same color, but I don't have any right now, and I've ran out. So I'm just going to use what I have. And I'm going to use two of the big ones, one for each side of the larger cream beads and some of the small ones. Okay, a couple of small ones. So put them out. Okay, I need 2 rings, one large double ring, and the lobster clasp. Okay, so actually what I'll do is I'll go back a couple of beads. I'll put the small cream bead in there. I don't know if you see it. It's right there. Okay. I'll take another small cream bead. See, I put it here. Okay. And now I take the larger one. Okay. After I take the larger one, watch that. Okay, that's the large one. That's the small one. I loop it over and I put it through the small one again. Okay. I have the big one here. I looped it into the small bead again. And now what I want is I just want to pull out enough of the wire for me to go back a little bit in the necklace and secure it. This one here, now I'm tightening it up. See? I have the big one here. And I have the smaller cream bead in the corner. And I'll take my pliers on the small one and tighten it. Okay, now it's secure. Okay, I'm going to go take this and put it back through the last two. Okay. Through this cream bead that I put there. Okay, here's the cream bead. Now I have the two wires going through this. See, two of them went through it. I pull to tighten it, but don't do it too tight because it looks really stiff and awkward. Do just enough so that it's still nice and fluid. Hold it here and crimp it. Now you secured the end of the necklace. Okay, nice and secure. Now this is important if you want to double string it just for extra precaution. And this is good to double string in case you break one of them, something happened and you break it. It gets torn or whatever. Then you have another one to hold it together so that you're not going to lose any beads. If you decide to double string, which I many times do, when you do the process I just showed you, this little piece right here that I have now, the end, this one, instead of it ending here, pull it all the way to the end. Just pull it so it'll be very long, and instead of putting it back through two beads, put it back through all of them. You still should get a cream bead after a couple of beads here. It should be maybe 1 inch to 2 inches. It should be here. But you continue to do this throughout the whole entire necklace until you get to the end on the other end, And then what you'll do is you'll take it through the cream bead at the end, the other side, which I'll show you, and cross it together and then crimp it. Another thing that you can do when you're just doing stringing is put more of the cream beads between more beads, and you'll just secure them in place so they won't move. If you don't want it to move, you just secure it in place. All right. So this is one side. Let me cut this here. And I'm going to go to the other side and do exactly the same thing on the other side. Okay. I'll remove the last two. Put a small cream bead here. I need another small one. Apparently I only took 3. Small and a small one and a big one. Take the end, loop, and go back into the small bead this way. Exactly like we did before. Okay, here we go. Okay, but now, very nicely, you have to pull the cord, because the other side, this side is already secure. So you're going to make sure it's nice and taut. Oh, my daughter comes. Hello? You want to take the dogs with you?
I can't. Stain and everything. Go.
Okay.
Go. In.
Sorry about that. So I'm holding this and I'm pulling this in to make sure it's nice and taut. I'm just going to take it out just to make sure I got this right. Okay. I'm going to hold it and crimp it. Okay. And same as we did on the last one, I'm going to go back and crimp it. Now in this case, if I did double, and I would have 2 of those coming out of this hole here, so I would put them through the crimp beads twice, one on each way, and turn it around, and then crimp the beads. And this way it'll catch both wires together. Because now it's nice and taut in there, I have to make sure. Oh, here we go. I got it right through. And get it through the crimp bead that I put there. See? I'm trying to make sure you see everything properly. It's so small, it's just really, really very small. Oops, keeps coming out. There we go. Put it through, crimp it, and voila. Okay. So now we have it on a string, and we have the two large crimp beads at the end. And I'm going to attach, on one end, I'm going to attach a ring and another, like two rings for the closure, and on the other side the ring and the lobster. Okay, so I'm going to take the ring, open it a little bit like so. Put it, this is a jump ring. It has a double loop, and I'm holding this one open, and I'm going to put it through the hole of the large crimp bead this way, and I'm going to close it. Okay, that's one side. I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to put it through, and I'm going to put the lobster closure on the other side. Here we go. And you have the closure. And there's your necklace. Now if I put it on me, if you want to see about how long it is, I'll try to show you. That's a nice size. Okay, let's off to the other two. Put this on the side, and I'll show you the techniques for the other, with the other beads. Okay. So let's do the earrings first with the other ones. This was kind of fast. I picked to do small earrings, so 2 small beads and 2 of the 1-inch size beads. For the ends here, I'm going to be using a straight pin, like a head pin. And for the small beads, I'm going to use eye pins. These are eye pins. It has a little eye in it. You can also just use regular wires or whatever you use. I'm just chose to do this because it's easy to do. So you put the head pins. The head pin, you see it is straight on this side, which means it's an end piece. Let's show you. It looks like a little nail or a pin. You see it's flat. So when you put it through the bead, it ends up in a very nice flat end right there. Okay. Nice flat end right there. It doesn't stick out. Okay. And I chose 2 different sides, like, just in case you don't get the exact side at the store or you don't have any at home. So one of them is shorter than the other. One of them is the exact side that you're going to need, That will work perfectly with that. And the other one, you might need to adjust. Okay, so now you're going to create a loop on this. Bend it all the way to the side. And then just take the end and twirl it around. Actually, no, it's better to use round tip pliers for the loop. Okay, and with this, I think I need some cutters. Some cutters. Now basically you do the same thing with this one, except that you're going to end up with a bit of a leftover. See? Just a little leftover part here that you don't need. So you have two choices. You can either take this and twirl it around and close it well, or you can just cut it. Whatever you choose to do. Over here on the second one, we're going to use an eye pin because we're going to need loops on both sides of the bead. We need a loop here and a loop there. And if you have it long enough, like I said, you can take it and you can twirl it around if you like, and create a good closure. It's really up to you. And we'll do the other one the same way. I always make sure I take the little pieces, the little cutout pieces, and put them inside the tray, and then dispose of them because I don't like them on the floor. I have dogs in the house, and you never know. I don't want them stepping in it or something like that. So just make sure you work clean. Okay. And I'm going to take 2 rings again. We might need a few more than 2, but I'll show you what I do with that. I will take 1 ring and connect these 2 pieces together. And then take another ring and connect it to the clasp. Here we go. It's a French hook. I don't know if you see it. Here we go. Now we can see it. Okay. Let's get to the, I'm only going to do 1 earring for now. I need, actually, I need, what do I need? I need more rings, to be honest with you. Okay. Let's do, let's see. You want to do the necklace? Okay, let's do the necklace. With the necklace, I want to add actually a couple of, I want to show you how I can add beads to it. So I'm just going to add simple seed beads, large ones. We'll just add a little bit of something to it, just a little bit of something. Okay, so let's take some of the beads here. We need a little bit of better planning for the necklace. So with the necklace, I'm actually going to double string it. So I'm going to start with 3, 4, 5. I'll start with 5. If I need to add more, I can always add more later. Okay, and start stringing it. You can also, instead of doing the regular stringing for the necklace, you can also do the wire together. Like I showed you with the pins, you can just do all of them with pins and get them together, put them together this way. Let's take a few more of the cream beads. The cream bead. me put one cream bead. So I have 5 seed beads, one of the big bead. Then I have a cream bead. And now I can crimp them. I can string them, sorry. So I have another one of the seed. Put this in, and a seed. And the reason that I like to put the seed bead in this type of necklace is because the necklace is shorter and the beads are larger. So if you have a round shape to the necklace with the beads together, and then you might see the wire in between the beads. And I want to avoid seeing the wire because it's just not clean. Put a large bead here now. See what I mean? I might even put 2 of them here instead of 1. I'm going to put 2 in between the large beads. This way, when it sits on the neck like this, you don't see the wire because the seed beads will hide it. Okay. 1, 2. All the pieces that I make are always one of a kind, so I never actually made this before. This, believe it or not, is my first time. So I work as I go, and I'm thinking about the steps that that I'm taking right alongside with you. And sometimes when you do something, it doesn't work the first time, and you make improvement on it the second time. But okay, so as you can see, when I did the big beads, there are 4 big ones, so I put 2 beads 3 times in between the 4. And on the edges, before it gets to the 1-inch one, I have 1. I don't think it needs 2 over there. Just, this is good. This is very good. Put 1 here. Oops. These particular beads that I did not make it symmetric. Okay, here we go. This is a good instance of showing you something. See, when I put the glue on this bead, I actually, looks like I sealed the hole with the glue. So what you'll do is you can take a pin or a needle and just punch through. That's all. Just take a pin or needle and just punch through until it gets to the other side, and it'll release the glue. Now it's going okay. Well, only had 1 today, which is pretty good. Okay, I'm almost at the end. So I'm going to put another crimp here. I'm going to make it symmetrical. So I will take the bead first and the crimp bead second. And this is the last bead here. And 5 of those. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now this is the point where, I mean, if you're making it for yourself, you can just try it on you and see that it is the size that you want. I want to show you on me. Okay. I'm touching the both ends right now, and this is where it comes to. So you see it's pretty nice and loose on my neck, and you have to leave a little bit for the closure, maybe a little bit more this way. Just measure it. If you want it longer, if you want it here, let's say, just add more of the seed beads because it's going to be in the end of the necklace and it's fine. If you want it shorter, then just remove whatever you need. Okay? Make sure that it's the size that you want before you close it. Okay, we'll continue now. Here we go. So let's see what kind of closure we're going to do with this one. I'm going to do a lobster again, or you can do, oops, or you can do a different kind of closure. I'm going to do a small crimp, a big crimp, take it around. Exactly like I did before. This way. And through the beads. Okay, I'm actually going to double string this one. I'm just going to go over backwards all the beads that I have that I assembled already. Okay. Including the little cream bead that I put here. Remember? Okay. I don't know if you hear this, my little dog scratching the table. I don't know what you want. Scratching. Yeah, with the fish wire cord, it's pretty easy to do. You know, some people like fabric ones, fiber ones, um, like regular string. I mean, it's okay, and you just have to use a needle with them or something. Just make sure that it's strong enough not to break. That's all. It's really a matter of preference of what you like to use. Okay. When you do this project, um, just so you know, it probably will take you all day to complete one project. It's a project. The things I do don't take an hour or two. They take all day. I work precise and slow, and you know, it's many steps. You know, the cutting, the assembling is really what takes long. To paint the edges on each one of the beads, it it takes a long time. You know, I mean, I love that the results are wonderful, and you can really do a lot of things with them. But if you don't have the patience, don't do it. I mean, you don't have to start and finish the same day, obviously. You know, you can do the cutting one day, the painting another. But it's not a short project. It takes